Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Pitching eForum Digital, the second edition we have for the 2020. My name is Denica, and I'm happy to welcome you to the Fintech, Financial Software and Blockchain pitching session today. Before we start, I would like to mention once again who we are. I'm the co-coordinator of the InvestHorizon Accelerator Program. The InvestHorizon program is financed and promoted by the European Commission in association with Eureka. And we from TechTour are the leading partner of this consortium, together with other partners, BPI France, Meta, BW Conde, Eura, IBN, and Yessi Business School. It's my pleasure to be here today with my colleague Victoria, and I would be happy to share with you also a couple of housekeeping rules. First of all, we are going to record this session for the sake of colleagues that were not able to join and would like to see these speeches. If somebody is against to be recorded during his speech, please indicate that into the chat, so we'll make sure to extract you from the recording. I would ask you to rename yourself in case you haven't done so. So please name, surname, and the company so we know who is in the room. I will ask you also kindly to turn off your microphone when you're not speaking, so we have a better quality of the meeting today. And of course, feel free to use the chat functionality to ask any questions you might have during the session. What we have for today is a short session with 5 companies pitching. Right now, we have the opening part. I will give then shortly the floor to our investors in the room to make a 30 seconds introduction. So we kind of get to meet each other. After that, we're gonna start with the pitching. We'll have 5 minutes pitching. We'll indicate 1 minute left for the pitching time. And after that, this will be followed of 4 minutes of Q&A. For the Q&A, I welcome the jury members to unmute themselves, ask the questions, and then the company to answer them. So we go further. During this session, we're gonna ask also all the juries to rank the companies. So we're gonna share with you in the chat an evaluation form where you will be able online to give scores on the different criteria. This will be anonymous, and we're gonna share this feedback with the companies for their benefit. Then the end of the forum is expected to be 10 minutes after 4 CET. Without further ado, I would like now to give the floor to our jury members to introduce themselves. I would like to start with this, giving the floor in an alphabetical order. So I saw Miguel is with us. So Miguel, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself for 30 seconds, please?
Yes, hi. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. And so my name is Miguel de Albuquerque. I work with ICV Group, which is a platform that is putting together people, resources, and projects and investments aligned with the SDG goals. So 50% of the profits generated by our group are always reverted to non-profit initiatives and projects. Therefore, we have a strong focus on the ideas and projects that can make an impact and bring something good back to the planet.
Thank you so much, Miguel, for the intro. I would like to welcome now João from InvestHorizon to give also a 30 seconds intro. Hi, João.
Hi there. Hi. Yes, so I'm from InvestHorizon. We are from Switzerland. We are Switzerland's most active VC investor. Since 2018, we started investing also in Germany, France, and across Europe. Today, we've invested over 120 million euros in over 100 startups. This year, we'll invest 50 million euros, so 50. What we're looking for is mainly Series A and onwards, rounds of 2 or 3 million euros or larger, B2B focus, sector agnostic in Europe.
Thank you so much. Then I would like to give now the floor to Soumitra from Prime Ventures.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So my name is Soumitra. I'm an associate at Prime Ventures. We are an Amsterdam-based pan-European growth fund. So we invest across Europe in growth companies with our ticket size usually between 15 to 30 million. So we like to take sizable ownerships in companies Series B onwards. And personally, for myself, I joined Prime last year. Before that, I was in London, where I finished my MBA from London Business School. And before that, I was in JP Morgan Investment Banking.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. We saw Dennis from Faraday Ventures is also on board. Hi, Dennis.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you for having us. So my name is Dennis Kirpenstein. I'm a managing director at Faraday Venture Partners, originally from Spain. We now have opened shop in Portugal and Germany, Austria as well. We invest in early stage companies, usually 250 to 500,000 in the first round that we enter. We're sector agnostic, so we tend to look at most of the stuff that already generates some revenue, and I'm really happy to be here today.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I would like to invite now Remo from Signals Venture Capital for the short intro.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Remo. I'm investment manager at Signals Venture Capital. I have a background in engineering and management, and we do investments in seed Series A, 1 to 5 million tickets, all across Europe, and we are sector agnostic, but we have a particular focus on enterprise tech and really invest throughout the whole value chain of an enterprise.
Wonderful. Thank you, Remo. I see that Kiana Mardi is also here. Hi, Kiana. How do you feel today?
Hi, thanks a lot. Kiana Mardi, investment director at Alstein Capital. Alstein Capital is a over 100 million fund based in Munich, Germany. We invest in mainly in the DACH region, but also globally in B2B software with a focus in Fintech and InsurTech. Our fund is initiated by a self-made billionaire called Carsten Maschmeyer, who sold the first financial independent advisory company to Swiss Re. And now we opened up and founded a third-party fund, which is now an independent fund.
Thank you so much, Kiana. I would like to give the floor to another lady this afternoon, Diana Nedeva from Blockchain Valley. Hello, Diana.
Hi everyone. Very pleased to be here. My name is Diana Nedeva. I'm at BV Ventures. We are a VC fund, technology fund with a particular focus on blockchain technology, but sector agnostic and geographically agnostic. Seed up to Series A, tickets from 500,000 to 3 million. And I'm very, very much looking forward to this session.
Thank you so much, Diana, for joining. Now the turn is for Andres Ox from Terra Ventures.
Hey, great to be here. I'm one of the founding partners of Terra Ventures. We're a Tallinn-based seed fund. We also invest in Scandinavia, rest of Baltics, Poland, Czech Republic. We're generalists. We obviously like some themes more. For instance, we've been investing in AI, machine learning for more than a decade. Thank you.
Thank you, Andres. Thank you so much. And Eva from Cavedon Capital. Hi, Eva. Would you like to introduce yourself for 30 seconds? Okay, maybe we're experiencing some difficulties. Then I will move forward to Cohen from Crosspring.
Yeah. Thank you also for the opportunity to be here. Thank you all for being here. Koen van den Burg, Crosspring. I work as an investment manager, and we invest purely in software startups, very early stage, so typically around even as early as MVP stage or maybe early traction. Ticket sizes between 100 to 500K. So we're typically the first investor to come on board. We have sector focuses for fintech, augmented reality, virtual reality, cybersecurity, and B2B SaaS more overall.
Wow, thank you so much. And last but not least, I saw that Kim just joined us, Kim Neal from OptiTeam.
Hello, friends. Well, very quickly, I'm a serial entrepreneur myself, have had several startups within fintech and workflow software, ERP systems and so on. And now, last 15 years, I've been working as on the investor side, the previous chairman of the Danish Business Angel Network, and we invest in everything from pre-seed up to A rounds. And we're very focused on not only fintech, but also anything that has to do with big data and I wouldn't say AI, but machine learning. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Then we are through with the intros, and I will not take longer to move forward. So we can start with the exciting pitching. My colleague Victoria posted in the chat the link for the evaluation form. So all of the expert jury members, all of the investors, please click this link and you can evaluate there the companies. In case that you are related to a company or it's not applicable for you, just mark with 0. Otherwise, you can have a note from 1 till 10. And without further ado, once again, I would like to give the floor to our first CEO from Coinscrap. This will be David. I will stop sharing my screen now, so you will have the opportunity to do this yourself.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon. I'm going to share my screen.
Wonderful.
Yes, could you confirm? Yes? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you to InvestHorizon for giving us the opportunity for presenting our company. My name is David Conde, one of the co-founders of Coinscrap. Coinscrap is a platform that makes savings as easy as spending. Coinscrap is a fintech startup. We are supporting leading European banks and insurance company in extending their value proposition, mainly with solutions related to financial planning and behavioral economics. We are working with some of the biggest clients here in Spain, for example, with Mapfre, Bankia, Banco. We have closed with Banco Santander also, with the biggest bank in Spain. And we are backed by our growth was backed by strong financial investors related to the financial sector, such as Bankinter or Indexa Capital or Draper, the venture capital Draper V1. We were winners of some competitions also because our business model. We were the most innovative Spanish startup award by El Referente, or we were top 20 startup award in Europe. Okay, saving and investing is not an engagement experience. You can see that in that numbers where the average personal savings is very low, and just one out of three persons prefer in-person meetings that in online advice in digital banking. And we always say that saving is not sexy. We say like it's like going to the gym. Everyone would like to have the results, but it's difficult to make that commitment. People need tools that work in the background while the life continue. And this is our solution. Coinscrap is a platform that helps you to save for the future using automated rules and behavioral economics that the users are able to save for the future without noticing. We are using different models to do that. For example, we have micro savings and financial planning model. We have categorization and personal finance manager model. We are able to detect insurance coverage and financial scoring. And we enrich this data to give the user with insights and advice that help us to understand better their financials. Some of our models are, for example, automated rules. You can run up your daily purchases and automatically transfer the change into different products depending on your financial target. You can save for the short term, for the long term, and we are able to connect with the financial products of our clients. So we are improving the saving ratios and the investment ratios of them. We are using goal-based planning. You can set up targets and we help you to achieve them. And we have a categorization and PFM engine. We have developed this engine in collaboration with an investigation group of the Vigo University of our region. We are using machine learning and semantic analysis and we are able to categorize every income, every spending. And on top of that, we build a business intelligence engine that help us to detect patterns and to give the users better advice. This is some of the benefits that we are able to achieve for our partners. For example, we were able to reduce 50% the customer acquisition channel. We were able to increase the saving ratio of one of our clients by more of 2K euros. We improve the net promoter score of one of our clients, of our banks, by more than 30 points. And one of our clients obtained a return of their investment using our macro saving model of +3. The banks and insurance company can choose two delivery options. They can integrate the solution using our APIs or SDK, or we can build a white label solution adapting the solution to the look and feel of our client. To scale this business model, we are using 3 different channels. We are selling the solution directly to banks and insurance company. We have an agreement with some tech companies that are working with banks, helping us to get faster to our clients. And also we are opening a API license to other fintech companies to use our different models. Our business model is quite easy. We charge a setup fee for adapting the solution to the requirement, to the needs of our clients. And we charge a license fee depending on the number of active users that are using our solutions. We expect to close the year in break-even. We have achieved the accounting break-even in Q2 of 2020. This is the team that makes Coinscrap possible. We accumulate more than 10 years of experience in banking or software development. And as I told you at the beginning, we are backed by strong financial investors and advisory board. We are closing this Series A funding round of 1 million euros in order to achieve 4 to 6 deals from the pipeline, consolidate monthly recurring revenue of 40-45K, and scale our business model international to Latin America. And thank you very much. I think I was running out of time.
Many thanks for this presentation, David. I will now open the floor for the experts. Any questions, please? Unmute yourself, turn on the camera, and ask the questions.
So I have a question. What is your USP and how do you differentiate from the competitors? There are plenty players in the segment.
Yeah, one of our main differentiation is that we built an engine, it's a proprietary engine that we have a business intelligence that we are able to categorize. I mean, there are also players that categorize the movements, but we were able to build a business intelligence model that we can use this categorized data in order to find out new cross-selling opportunities. And we were working with this model like since the beginning with our clients, and we have trained the engine with a lot of data from the banks, and we are improving on a regular basis this engine. So we are able to give actual new cross-selling opportunities to our banks and insurance company, and we can demonstrate that with numbers. And I think this engine is unique because we have developed that. Obviously, we have competitors and they are working on that type of models also, but I think we have a very good position. Actually, for example, in Banco Santander, they were using one of our competitors and they decided to change it for us because our ratios of efficiency were better.
I hope this answers your question. Okay, then I will give the floor to the next question.
David, quick question from my side. How many clients you guys have at the moment? And for the next year, probably pipeline?
Yeah, we have 12 clients at the moment. We have 4 banks and 8 insurance company. For the next 12 months, I think we are going to close, as I said in the presentation, we are projecting to close between 4 and 6 more clients, and we have also in the pipeline other modules that we are going to give service to actual clients that we have at the moment. But new clients, we expect to close between 4 and 6.
Okay, thank you. Somebody else, a question?
Yes, well, I have one question. What is the average sales cycle? What is the duration of the sales cycle?
Yeah, it's quite long. Yeah, that's one of the main challenge of our business model, that closing deals with big players like this. But we were able to close. I mean, the hard part is done, because we were able to close deals with big players here in Spain, and this is like a very good presentation to close new ones. If you are able to demonstrate what you do with big players, other ones are willing to hear you. Also, we are closing deals. We have closed our first deal with tech distribution with a vendor to banks. Is Indra? The name is Minsight, because they are working as a consultor with banks, so they are selling our solutions also. So it's easy to us to get new clients through this channel also.
Thank you so much, David, for this answer. And we are over with the time that we have for the questions. There was one more from Kim New in the chat. So maybe you can refer to it later when you're scheduling a one-to-one, or just continue this discussion in the Tech2r platform where you can exchange messages. I would like to give now the floor to Francisco from BlockTac. I will stop sharing again, so Francisco can go next. Wonderful, we can see your screen. Whenever you're ready, Francisco.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very loud and clear.
Great, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Francisco Guillén, BlockTac CEO. Consider a self-driving car approaching this stop sign with a yellow post-it note attached to it by a hacker. That will mislead the compromised sign recognition program of the car and will misclassify the stop as a speed limit sign, causing a serious accident in whatever urban area the hacker wanted to target. Next, the IBM's Watson for Oncology in 2017 was providing erroneous and dangerous cancer treatment advice, and MD Anderson Cancer Center wasted $62 million in this project. Also, the Microsoft Twitter bot Tay was suspended just 16 hours after it released due to racist messages. The fact is that over 1/3 of AI projects gave ineffective or dangerous results due to data poisoning. This affects many industries, self-driving cars, clinical care, or manufacturing, to name a few, and puts people's life at risk. And each AI training round will cost millions of dollars just in energy consumption. So to solve this problem, we have developed a family of autonomous hardware devices that collect information directly from the IoT sensors or machines, encrypt the data, and store it in a public blockchain. Now the information becomes trusted and traceable, impossible to change, truly linked to its source. And we name these computers blockchain of scene devices. Our approach makes it impossible for third parties to impersonate the real producer of the data, therefore protecting the training of AI systems and reducing energy consumption. Companies will be fully accountable for the information they produce, use, or sell, and privacy is fully protected and potential scammer immediately identified. Our strategy is unique it's unique for the low cost of our devices and the minimal cost of storing the data. You might ask, well, do we have the capabilities to do it? Well, certainly. We lean on the knowledge and experience accomplished in the authentication of consumer goods, people's IDs, and online voting systems. And concerning our value proposition, you should know that Data is considered the new gold, and data poisoning attacks are the nuclear weapon of the 21st century. The information is so valuable that is now the target of hackers and fake data generators, and IoT devices are being forged, the information fabricated, and poisoned data set deceive decision-making systems. So our device is fully secure data sets against hacking, identifying its origin and ownerships, and making it safe and tradable, increasing up to 50% the monetary value of this information. Our solution creates an entirely new market by solving unmet needs for these 8 significant industries that represent initially a service accessible market of 80 billion euros, although our target market is only the 10% concerned with cybersecurity of 8 billion euros. Competitors. This table highlights the most significant players with solutions that try to cope with some of the issues that our technology fully solves. Our devices are the only ones capable of encrypting and registering data in a public blockchain, securing and authenticating the data from the source with high computer power, low size, low cost, and full compatibility and functionalities. We will charge a license fee plus a recurrent fee based on the number of devices and the volume of data secure. And we will sell this technology through strategic partners, tech integrators, and a direct sales force. Manufacturing will be outsourced, and the validation process of the data set will be performed on the service of regular cloud vendors. Our go-to-market strategy follows these 4 lines of work. Partnership with large telecoms and tech companies as Telefonica and Indra, developing some wide range eye-catching demonstration facilities in different cities, joining forces with consulting companies as KPMG, and a sales force to reach the intended clients. BlockTac team is well balanced and experienced with 8 engineers, 2 PhDs, 2 MBAs, and 2 Masters of Science in Engineering, plus 2 technical and investor advisors. And we are proficient in the areas of management, marketing and sales, online communication, and computer engineering, especially in blockchain technology, obviously. This is a summary of our financial projections and the assumptions on which they are based. To reach our goals, we rely on our well-established strategic partners to work within their large client base. This project will create 62 new jobs, most of them high-level engineers for R&D, software and hardware development, and 15 people on the sales force. Our goal is to raise 4 million euros to complete the investment in R&D and equipment to fund operations, sales, and marketing activities in order to reach a leading position in 8 industries, 8 countries, and 2,500 clients. That was all. Thank you for your interest, and I'm available for any information you might require.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Francisco. I will open now the floor. The one from the jury members that has a question, unmute and ask it directly.
Hi, Francisco. This is Dennis. So I'll have a quick question. Did I get you right that you're basically a mixture of hardware and software, enabling, for example, smart cities with retrofit hardware to then store the stuff in your blockchain? Or can you be a bit more specific on that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the first part of the question. Could you repeat it again? Because there was
some
noise.
Sure. So what you're doing is you're producing your own hardware and the software to then actually store it in the blockchain. And the big question is your hardware then retrofittable? So because it's going to be a lot of effort, I suppose, to install your hardware, right?
Well, I'm not the technical guy to explain that. What we do is we are just close to the IoT devices. We immediately incorporate and encrypt and register in a public blockchain the information. Obviously is protected. We have our devices essentially protected, but the way we do it, I cannot answer that question. I have to ask the clever guy in the team that is my co-founder and the technical engineer. I'm the dumbest of the team. That you can see.
Okay, but it's your own hardware.
Well, exactly. This is something, it's a new development. We started with software development, encrypting securing the information for fast mover consumer goods, providing a unique identifier for each one of the products. Now we move into these hardware devices, small devices that has the computer power to collect that information and encrypt this information in a public blockchain. And we are essentially unique in doing this service.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Then we have time for 2 quick questions. Who is going to be next?
Well, I have a question, but I don't know if it's appropriate. I mean, I don't understand. I didn't understand in your presentation how exactly you're going to protect the source of the information, because you're trying to alleviate the stress on AI systems of corrupted data, and you're protecting the data that is in the system, putting that on the blockchain. But I didn't understand how you actually validating the source of the information and make sure that whatever you receive is legitimate.
Data sets from the source, they are immediately at the source encrypted and registered in blockchain. This is associated, now the data set is tagged with this information that when you receive it, or if you sell it to a third party, to an AI training program, then the receiving end might confirm that this data that they are working with is original, and the companies that sell it are responsible for the information they handle. So you are in the safe side because you are working with fully secure, authenticated data. This is something that right now you cannot identify. When you receive a stream of data or data set, you cannot tell whether those data are fakes or have been tampered with or not. So we do it at the very beginning and attach this information. You can verify immediately. We provide a certificate. I'm sorry, perhaps I didn't mention that you can verify on blockchain the authenticity of all the data that you are working with. Something that we are very accustomed to do it with fast mover consumer good. Every consumer can identify the authenticity of every single product unit.
Thank you so much for this answer. I saw that Kim New has another question in the chat, and we are a little bit out of time, so I will give the floor to Kim New. Sorry, Diana. Maybe you can write down your question also in the chat. So Kim, would you like to go?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit building on the same question. So are you saying that the validation of the data, is that your unfair competitive advantage, that you will be the validator, or how do you keep, for example, Facebook from validating their own data in their own blockchain?
No. We are the only one that could do that because we are the only ones receiving and encrypting the information. And provided with this signature, this certificate, this authentication certificate, that we are the ones that help to develop. So no one is receiving this information. The only one. So we help the companies that work with this and produce, sell, and use this information with this certificate, which cannot be copied, which cannot be broken, and that everyone could verify the authenticity of it. Competitors might try to do the similar things, but they need to be able to get in touch with the source of those information and provide the complete system that collect the information, encrypt, and register that in a public blockchain, never private or permissioned, obviously.
Okay, thank you so much for answering this question. I hope now it's clear. And now is the time to give the floor to Daniel from Yello. Thank you, Francisco. And Daniel, the floor is now yours.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon. Can you see my screen?
Wonderful, yes.
Yes, all right, thank you very much. I'm Daniel Maurice-Vallerey, the co-founder of Yello. And first, let me say that we appreciate the opportunity to meeting you, and would like to thank the organizers for that. Retailers are under a lot of pressure to improve the checkout and payment experience at the store. They do not have the right technology, and that results in client frustration and missed sales opportunities. This is why we developed the Yello all-in-one terminal. It basically, as you can see on the screen, it replaces a number of the tools that are used by the retailers today, and everything is included in a single terminal we call the Y7. As a starting point, it accepts all types of payments, obviously, so Stripe, chip, contactless, QR code. And also, you can run any third-party business application. So it's a combined solution, hardware and software. We provide a number of business applications. Retailers can run their business application. And because we know very well from the start the problems of integrating solutions at the store, quickly, easy to manage, easy to control, we have built a solution with patents that allow us to do this and to give the control to the retailers. With the Yello solution, salespeople can initiate and complete transactions in the aisles of the store. Customers can order and pay at the table in the restaurant, and hotel guests can do self-check-in and self-checkout. With seamless transactions, less time spent waiting, and targeted messages, customer satisfaction and merchant revenues increase. Imagine you are at the hotel and you want to check out. There is a queue, but there is also a Y7 terminal. All you need is to, on this terminal, is to type your hotel card. You see the voucher, you see your invoice, you agree, you pay it by tapping your bank card, and you can go away within 20 or 30 seconds. So that's basically what we deliver at the point of sale. We facilitate in-person commerce, increase sales, and improve customer satisfaction. We operate in the fastest growing space of the retail technology. We are one of the few companies that you can see in the top right quadrant that created this all-in-one solution that is now required by retailers. And the reason there are few companies operating in that space is that you need an equal knowledge of payments and of retail. At the moment, we are currently deploying at scale in 4 different markets. The first one is in healthcare. We operate with the largest provider of IT solutions for pharmacies in Europe, the JDM Phoenix Group, with a turnover of 30 billion euros. And what we are working on with them is a new generation of cash register for pharmacies that is built upon the Y7 technology. We also operate, we have a project in Spain with Caixa in the hotel vertical. That's the one I was mentioning earlier, which is basically this ability for hotel solutions in the cloud to provide a hotel with hardware and software for them to accept any type of payments, check-in, check-out by the clerk or by the customers themselves. We also do in Spain a project for a retailer that wants to have online in-store. As we all know, omnichannel is quite a challenge, and it's difficult to know how to have 2 systems operate together. The solution seems to be that you take the online solution in store, but for that you need the right platform and the right tools to manage that. So that's what we are doing for a chain of sports stores in Spain. We also have, and that's the third category here, we have a project with the leading bank and payment processor in Holland to provide a set of online solutions in the cloud for small and medium businesses. And the link between these solutions and the retailer is the Y7 payment solution terminal in the store where all the operations can be conducted. And finally, we have a project in Egypt with transport companies where we use the device to verify the identity and accept all types of payments from the traveler. Our business model is that we obviously sell the terminal, but more importantly, we focus on the services that we provide in order to create value for the merchant and recurring revenues for Yello. So our objective, and that's confirmed by the projects underway, is to have a recurring revenue of 20 euros per terminal per month, and which will generate in a gross margin, will result in a gross margin of around 720 euros per terminal over their life expectancy. In order to create this, I'm out of time, so I will go quickly. We have a unique team that created this, all seasoned professionals from the field. We've raised 7 million up to now, and we are doing a bridge of 1 million with a view of having us a round next year of 5 million, basically to become the category leader in Europe. And now is the right time to invest, and your summary here why. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for this introduction to Yello. I would like now to give the floor to our jury members to ask any questions they might have.
So hardware seems to be
maybe you were pretty clear, and that's why.
No, it's a very simple question. It's there's a crowded space on the counters of the retailers in Europe. So your competitive advantage then, what is that compared to all the your competitors that you're listing there? I felt you're maybe lacking some also smaller ones, but.
Well, I think we have a combined solution. I think there are two aspects in your question. Very quickly, the crowd at the counter, we solve it by being able to do a number of things on the terminal, and the hotel example was illustrating that. You don't need to capture the signature, you don't need to scan, you don't need to have a payment terminal separate, all in one terminal. Second thing, the space in which we operate, there are big barriers to entry, and in fact, there are not that many competitors who provide hardware and software. And we think it is that's the opportunity. And we have patents for a number of features on the terminal, and we have a complete line of products and services to make it easy to deploy and grow our solution.
Thank you. I hope this answers the question. So maybe there is another one in the audience who would like to ask. Well, you were pretty clear, I assume.
I hope that's the answer.
Well, I can continue because I've been in this space also. So what about your pricing model then compared to competitors? How are you there?
Can you mention the competitors you have in mind? Is that Point, Clover, Square, or?
I'm looking at, if you go back to your competitor graph there.
Yes.
Then the systems you have there that you're competing with today. So what is the retailer, what is he comparing with price-wise? You're looking at like 10 euro per month.
No, we are in the smart POS space, and retailers would expect to pay 10, 20, 30, 50, 70 euros, depending on what they get. I think a good example is the loyalty space, where we know that retailers are charged 20 to 70 euros per month in order to run a loyalty application at their point of sale. One thing I've not mentioned is that we are the first terminal that includes programmatic advertising at point of sale. So that's also one way to reduce the cost of the terminal. So yes, it is a space where people are really interested. It's a 100 billion market, point of sale solutions as a whole, but technology is changing very rapidly. Things can be done now that could not be done before. And we've integrated all of these new capabilities into a compact terminal that is easy to deploy and manage. So that's where we think the space exists. And we had no legacy system to deal with. So that's why we could come up with this.
So pricing wise, you're not going to be much lower than the existing models, you mean?
No, we are pricing wise, we are around the same level as what exists today, but it's more on the revenue side and advertising revenues. So value-added services plus advertising revenues for the merchant, which can be click advertising and impression advertising.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this clarification. And now I would like then to give the floor to our next company. And this will be Richard from Certino. I will just stop sharing my screen and I will give you then the floor. So Richard, you're welcome to start sharing yours. And once you're ready.
Thank you. Can you see the screen okay?
Yes, great.
Thank you very much. So thank you for this opportunity. My name is Rich McBride. I'm founder and managing director of Certino. I first met my chairman and co-founder Didier Charlton when he hired me in 2002, and nearly 20 years later we're still working together, I think with our relationship underpinned by shared passion for rugby and for fine wine. It was at Baker Hughes, working together there, that the foundation of Certino was formed. For those of you who don't know Baker Hughes, it's a US headquartered oilfield services company with a large international population. And it was in transforming the way we manage the taxes for this population that we were able to deliver over 250 million. It's $250 million of tax savings over the 8 years that I was there. And with Didier's encouragement and support, I formed Certino to bring this to the wider market. And I'm pleased to say that both my boss, obviously Didier, the chief HR officer, and his boss, the chief executive from Baker Hughes at that time, are investors in Certino and would very much like you to join us. So the market we operate in is a niche one. It's around the management of a globally mobile workforce, which essentially are employees who are sent to work overseas by their employer. And the value proposition that we bring really to a market that's characterized by complexity and inefficiency is one of simplicity and automation. And we focus on the pain points for our clients, which is around the time it takes them and their team, the costs they incur, and also obviously to help them stay compliant, avoid fines and reputational damage. In terms of the problem we solve around complexity, complexity lies in both the taxes themselves, every country is different, in the size and footprint of the populations each country has managed, which has increased by 3 times over the last 10 years, and also the time pressures, because pretty much now every country has automatic penalties for late payment of tax. And the key challenge here around is lack of visibility. And by that I mean that virtually no company understands what is the right amount of tax it should pay for these people. And as a result, not surprisingly, they get the tax payments wrong. And that's bad news either way, because if you're overpaying, you're incurring excess costs now. If you're underpaying, you're just building up liabilities for the future. In terms of how we distinguish ourselves, how we approach this, I've set out really a comparison between our very simple automated approach and a very manual, time-consuming, expensive, traditional approach. And I think simply put, we are better, faster, and cheaper than our competitors in the way we bring service to our clients. I think in terms of the market opportunity, the first slide briefly showed 2. Our current market really is around processing monthly tax calculations. The market there is around 1 million, and in terms of pricing, we start at 1/3 of our average competitors' pricing. There's a new market that's enabled by this, which is around enabling companies to save taxes the way we did at Baker Hughes through tax optimization. And tax optimization essentially means avoiding errors and making sure you take advantage of all available tax reliefs. And we'll have a product in development there with some grant funding from Eurostars that we'll be releasing in the early part of 2022. I think since we're talking about business travel, I really need to say something about COVID and the impact that has had, and acknowledge really it has and continues to have an impact because travel is very much reduced. But I think there's also opportunities for us as economic activity resumes. I think what we've seen is an acceleration of trends that were already underway before COVID, with a change in the type of working, much more cross-border or even remote workers. And also, as we're seeing now already, corporate cost pressures to reduce teams, to reduce spend through their supply chain will favor Certino. And also a government switch from shelling out money to support COVID to actually trying to fill with taxes that money that they've paid out, that will also favor Certino as companies very much focus on this area. In terms of market traction so far, these are the clients we have. We have 3, but obviously there are some global titans in there. Siemens was our first client. It was our first beta client from July 2018, and we have a very good relationship with them. In terms of our competitors, they are the big 4 accounting firms, and obviously they're very powerful brands and respect them. But I think we have an edge in that this area is unprofitable for them. They're open to alliances, and we hope to create an alliance with at least one of those. Our senior team is in place. It has a good blend of subject matter expertise, technology expertise, and business experience, and crucially with both our CTO and our finance lead, past experience of technology startups. So in summary, the foundations are all in place in terms of the platform, in terms of the team, in terms of existing clients that will underpin ourselves going forward. And we're looking for up to £2 million of investment that will help us to onboard clients, to grow our pipeline, and also to develop our platform far quicker than we're able to do on our own. In terms of financials, we closed the last year at a little over 600,000. We're looking to grow that to a little over 30 million over the next 4 years, with margins of between 60 to 75% depending on client mix. And what gives me confidence around that is that our existing clients will grow substantially over that period. And as you see through even that 4-year period, our existing clients are forming a significant part of our revenue. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much, Richard, for the presentation. I would like to welcome now our expert jury members to ask any questions they might have. Who would like to be first? Well, I don't know, maybe you were pretty clear, Richard, and very exhaustive presentation. Congrats on that.
Maybe I can go ahead with, I'm sure, I'm sorry if I missed it, but I didn't get the revenue model A, and B, yes, I didn't understand. So is this a solution for retail customers or corporations?
It's for corporations. Yeah, it's for corporations. So we have a business-to-business model sell directly to the likes of Siemens or Amazon. We also have a white label model that the accounting firms can use to supply the same service to their clients. And in both cases, essentially, it's a licensing model. We do have a one-off implementation fee depending on complexity, but primarily it's a monthly license fee that's driven by the volume of calculations.
Okay, thank you.
How is this sold then? You say, is it direct sales or via corporations, via direct sales or via partners?
We sell directly to them. So we provide that service directly to our existing customers.
So how do you define your target client, basically, in terms of size?
Yeah, it's essentially any large multinational that sends a significant number of employees overseas. We look typically at a minimum of around 100 employees and a geographical footprint of 10 countries. But really can be any sector, but it's primarily the project type companies. So in engineering or in IT consulting, those are particularly attractive to us.
Thank you so much. And there is time for one more short question. If somebody in the audience would like to shoot.
Who's your main competitor?
So our main competitors are the big four accounting firms. So Deloitte, PwC, Ernst & Young, and KPMG. But as I mentioned, I think we compete in a small niche with them. It's a market that they don't like to be in because they're unprofitable in this area, but they need to be because of their clients. And actually, we're talking to two of them at the moment about alliances for them to use Certino to provide this to their clients. So it's a situation where our big competitors are potentially our largest clients.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We are out of time now. And I would like then to invite our last company for the day, Ioanna from Finclude, to start sharing the screen. And
hello.
Hi, Ioanna.
Good woman.
Yes, we can see clearly. So whenever you're ready.
Cool. So hello. I'm Ioanna. I'm co-founder and chief risk officer of Finclude. There are 250 million adults in the US and numerous credit bureaus. There are 510 million adults within European Union, and it's shocking that there is no common credit score, which leaves approximately 58 million EU citizens with no access to credit. We are going to solve this with Finclude. I'm from Greece. I possess 18 years of experience in the field of credit risk, and I'm here to tell you a story. Here is Bianca. Bianca is Italian, and she wants to relocate to the UK for studies. When she relocates, she faces significant challenges, renting a house, even getting a postpaid cell phone. Why? Because nobody knows if she paid her bills on time back in Italy or what were her assets. She manages to study, and then she gets an amazing job opportunity from a company in Berlin, When she relocates to Berlin, she faces the same challenges. Nobody knows who she was back in the UK. She has to start from scratch. She cannot rent a house, get a credit card, not even a postpaid cell phone. Why is this the case? This is the case because on the one hand, traditional credit bureaus, they are domestic and they stay domestic. And European financial institutions do not exchange information between them. In order to solve this, we have created a credit score that you can take with you wherever you go throughout the European Union. And our credit score is primarily based on analyzing the individual's transactional behavior and spending patterns, powered by machine learning techniques. Why now? Because EU regulations recently changed, obligating financial institutions to open their APIs and allowing to fintechs like us to build on top of these APIs to build our offering. And in the same time, there's a constantly increasing demand for digital banking services. We offer creditworthiness assessment, affordability check for individuals, and relevant KPIs like the probability of default on the affordability of the individual. With our offering, businesses can launch post-pay services, instant credit offerings for financial institutions. They can have a 360 view of the individual from all the banks that the individual banks with. We're established in Dublin, Ireland. We're licensed as an account information service provider. We have passported our license throughout EEA. We're in partnership with IBM for banking level security to our cloud infrastructure, and with MasterCard for connectivity to more than 2,800 financial institutions throughout the European Union. Our go-to-market is on a push-pull approach. Primarily, we focus on the push side, so we expect our business customers and the financial institutions to channel their credit applicants to our platform in order for the latter to get their credit report. But the offering is out there and it's free for every you and me to use it as we see fit. In terms of competition, there is the credit bureaus, as we said before, who stay local. There are the global players entering the market, Experian, TransUnion, but they stay on the large markets, UK and Germany, where it makes sense. And there are startups like us who also stay in the large markets, UK and Germany mostly, where it makes sense. There probably will be issues with their licensing due to Brexit. I have 18 years of experience in the field of credit risk. I have an MBA. I'm a Fortune 40 under 40 for Greece, an M12 finalist, and a Grace Hopper winner for this year. My co-founder is a serial tech entrepreneur, has another successful exit under his belt, and a master's in data science from NYU. And we have a board of directors of serial C-level executives of multinational banks. We have the right team, we're product ready, and we're ready to scale. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Wow, thank you so much, Ioanna, for this presentation. You were actually even faster than the 5 minutes. Thank you for keeping it short and tasty for us. I would like to invite then some of the jury members to ask any questions they might have.
Yeah, hi, Ioanna, how are you? Hello. So maybe I didn't grasp it completely, but how are you sort of, what's the business model behind it? So who are you charging exactly? And then how is your revenue at the moment? Like, are you already generating?
It's pure SaaS. Yes, it's pure SaaS. It's a subscription based on volumes and we charge the business customers. So ideally financial institutions, but the customers could be NPL management firms, large retailers who want to offer post-pay services and so on. So it's a subscription based on volumes, API calls.
Hi, Ioanna. Thank you for the presentation. Maybe a quick question from my end. You did mention competitors like Air and Credit Kudos. What is your thought on them? And do you think this is eventually going to be a winner takes all market, or do you think it's going to be quite fragmented and there's space for several API-enabled players to serve the entire market?
Well, you know, in the the US, I'm sorry, there are at least 5 large credit bureaus. And if, let me get to this slide again. So we're talking about, there are 250 million adults, and it's at least 1 trillion of household debt, but the equivalent amount of household debt in the EU is 800 billion, not trillion, euros. So there's market for people to expand, and our vision is that there will be other players, and time to market is of essence here. So it's super important that we already got our license, and we are already having our first 2 customers, and we are getting out there. So we're looking to raise in order to make our scoring available on a pan-European level and get it out there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So one more question, we have the time for it, if somebody would like to ask.
Yes, maybe a question concerning the actual fragmentation of the European market. Even if you know, the idea is to unify Europe, we very well known that the intention is one thing, in reality we have something a little bit different. So how do your product, what is your strategy to overcome the difficulties of you know, integrating with different policies and companies and countries?
So the idea is to analyze the transactional behavior and the spending patterns. So we do not want to focus on credit events. We want to focus on, do you make savings? Do you pay on time? Do you pay on time your rent? And aside from on-time payments, if you pay insurance, let's say, or you're not betting heavily, or you do not spend your entire salary the second day you got it, and that means you're careful with your finances. The more careful you are, the better is your behavioral, your transactional credit score, and not so much on an event-based, credit event, I mean, based. So the idea behind this is that we all have, at the end of the day, we have some income and we have some dependents within our household. We have to pay for rent or for a mortgage. We would like to make some savings, but we spend on food, we spend on energy, we spend on our children, on housing, insurance. That's the basic idea behind it. So we use this idea and we build on top of the transactional data. So we do not want to replace the existing credit assessment, and we are not a loan generation platform. We want the banking institution, the financial institution, or the large retailer or the business to use our credit score to see the behavior of the individual towards all the banks that the individual banks with. We do not want to replace credit bureaus per se, or the existing credit assessment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for answering these questions. And I want to thank you once again for the presentation. We are now at the end of our program for the day. I would like to thank you.
Thank you.
From my side, from the side of Victoria. She's also next to me virtually. And we would like to share in the chat our satisfaction survey. Please take these 2 or 3 minutes to give us your feedback to help us make better next time. And also would like to remind you that we have one-to-one meetings organized via our Tech4 platform. You can check if we have invitations by signing in very easily in our platform and checking or inviting other participants to meet later in a separate 15 minutes Zoom or a Blue Jeans call. And this was it from us for the day. Thank you so much again for joining us and spending your hour and 10 minutes with us. We wish you a pleasant afternoon and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Thank you.